Welcome back to Lovecraft Country, episode 6. Sorry again for another late episode, but I found a job, so just been a little difficult working my schedule around the videos. I'm assuming this is the woman that Tick was talking to. She appears to be seriously haunted by something. What do we got here? Meet me in Daegu. This is cool, get a totally different setting. 1949. So this must be back when Tick was either in the war or, you know, about to be. I don't remember when the wars started exactly.
네, 엄마. 네.
Such bullshit that marriage is the only way to bring about respect or any kind of dignity to a family. Jesus. Sorry if I'm not commenting enough, I'm just trying to absorb, figure out what all is going on. I wonder if this whole episode is just going to be a flashback, focusing on her. Dude, I watched Heroes religiously, and I know he played Ando, and dude, seeing him makes me so happy. Haven't seen him in anything in a while. I get kind of off vibes from this. Like, I would like for this to just be a nice... What the fuck? Atticus did say, you know, like, what are you? Is she... like a witch, or... a straight up monster? Again, no foreplay, no nothing, just right to it. What the fuck? Just got into some creepy, like, hentai territory. I'm not feeling this. Oh my god! Huh? I didn't like that. Especially because that was fucking Ando, man. I don't have very many things to say right now, so I'm just, I feel violated. I don't care what country it is. You see someone rolling up full military, there's something to fear. I'm not sure I would trust the Mudang or her at this point. Like, the mom, I mean. Well, do you want to live or not, you dumb shit? Even aside from the... what's it called? The war going on, I could not do well in like a hospital setting. Seeing other people's pain and suffering, it just makes me feel so bad. Like, I could not do it. I mean, at the core root of every person, we pretty much all want the same thing: be accepted, be loved, successful, you know, like what your ideology is. But some people just want to hate and divide everything up. So I'm assuming her husband raped her as a little girl, and you know, she had her summon the spirit to kill him, but like she said, the price was higher than she expected it to be. Damn, so she allowed that to happen? On so many levels. This is like really fucked, man. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, as shitty as it is to say, I feel like the right thing to do would be the actual girl to come forward and be like, it's me, like, they're innocent, don't kill them. That being said, if I was in the same situation, oh, there he is! Damn! No matter what day and age, war is fucked, man. You can say we fought for freedom, we fought for this, we fought for that. You can't ever convince me that doing shit like this is okay. Oh, I just realized Judy Garland was like super manipulated and like sexually assaulted throughout her life. So there's probably like a little bit of a connection there between the main character here and Judy Garland. I'm glad that they make the characters so complicated though in this show. No one's just a perfectly good person.
Well, I'd like to meet this best friend.
You know what, you kind of made that impossible.
물론 예외는 있지. 간첩들은 도처에 깔려 있어.
That is such bullshit. We don't allow Koreans on the base anymore unless we get to fuck them. Like, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's so cute.
Mostly my uncle.
George.
Uncle George? No.
Don't talk about him.
The safe Negro travel guy.
Like I said though, it's so complicated. Like, he's fighting for people that don't give a shit about him. He killed innocent people in order to get like certain information out of the one innocent person who happened to be her like best friend. But they genuinely like each other and they're falling in love. Like, it's so complicated. And she's also possessed by a spirit that wants to consume his soul. So, you know, that a little extra added complication there. For being a virgin, he's got some game. Damn. That is seriously, like, I think maybe one of the most disrespectful things you can do to someone is spit on them. Like, I'd rather be punched, I'd rather be slapped, verbally abused, whatever. Being spit on, like, that hits a real nerve.
We could be the people we see in each other. We just have to choose to be.
It's a very good message, honestly. A lot of us have all done pretty terrible things, but there's always a choice you can make. Well, I would have to admit, knowing that the person you're with has like tentacles that shoot out of like every part of their body would be a little tough to wrap your head around.
There's so many things you don't know about me.
There's nothing you could tell me that would change the way I feel about you.
Well, I would hope that was true, but like I said, the whole tentacle is coming out of everywhere. That'd be a tough one to wrap your head around. I'm not saying anything, but y'all know what I'm thinking. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Oh wait, is she seeing his future? Gonna finally show a little love toward her daughter, because that would be nice. Oh, okay. Says you. You're gonna end it like that? You basically just gave me 10 more questions without answering much of shit. Well, I think it was another really good episode. I really like that we got a completely different setting, different culture, different characters for like this whole episode. But yeah, it seems like even though it's a lot of different characters and we're halfway around the world, a lot of the same themes still persisted into this episode with Gia, particularly the one of like the cycle of violence. Like Atticus and his father and Montrose's father, you know, have this constant cycle of abuse and a complete disconnect between the two because of it. And Gia and her mother seem to have the same kind of thing going on. Like her mother allowed her husband to rape and abuse her, and in turn, you know, turned her into this monster where she sort of does the reverse to I guess 99 Men. The major difference there being she brings up the fact that even though I've done horrible things, even though you've done horrible things, even though horrible things have been done to us, we don't have to choose to keep doing that. We're not defined by whatever label other people place on us. Like, they may call us a monster, but we don't have to be that. We can choose to do something different. And she chooses to spare Atticus and, actually fall in love with him. And I really wonder, like, what that ending sequence with the shaman was, because her mother said, I'll pay the price for my daughter. I just want her to, be whole again. But the shaman did not just say, oh, okay, and then make her pay a price. She kind of gave them this weird little riddle of, like, you've seen many deaths throughout your life, and you'll see many, many more before it comes to an end. What that exactly means, I don't fucking know. I thought it was really cool that we got like a different version of like some of the magic and strange creature stuff that we've been seeing on the show. Instead, now it's a Korean version of it with the kumiho. And after looking it up, it's basically the nine-tailed fox, which gives a little bit more explanation to that little moment she had with the fox out in the snow. And I don't know if it's universal across like various Asian cultures, but I know the fox has typically like represented the moral compass of things. Like, there's a lot of situations where the fox will guide you to like the correct or the morally right thing to do. And it seems like the nine-tailed fox is kind of like the inverse of that, the more wicked side of things. So I think that's kind of cool that basically the nine-tailed fox and the regular fox have this moment of like yin and yang. I might have read into that very incorrectly. That's kind of what I'm gathering from it. It was also really interesting seeing the war aspect of the episode, how both the citizens and the soldiers suffer from it. Obviously, some more than others. Like in many wars, typically it was the Black Americans or literally any minority of American who was put on the front lines and has to deal with the worst of the worst, which is why I imagine Atticus was probably injured so badly. But maybe not. I mean, the war is fucked up. Whether you're a citizen or a soldier, there's a very good chance that you could die or be seriously wounded. And in so many cases, in so many wars, it seems like it's for nothing. Obviously, I'm not saying in every situation it equated to nothing happening, but I have to agree with some of the characters in this episode when they said, is it worth it? You say you're here to bring peace, but then you rape the women of this country, and you bring about total suffering, and you tell yourself that it's all for all the right reasons to help you sleep at night, but is it for all the right reasons? Is it worth doing these horrible things even for the right reasons? I can't really say whether I think it is or isn't. If I had to pick one, I would say probably not. I mean, I would have thought by at least today in 2020, we'd hit a point where we don't need to shoot and blow each other up in order to deal with our differences or certain problems in the world. And maybe that's just wishful thinking. Maybe that's just not how life is. Maybe life is so fucked up that it will come to that sometimes, and there's no other situation or way around it. But I also don't like looking at things like that and thinking, that's just how it is. Because I think we can always strive to become better people, not as a country, but as a whole. Like, the whole world can become better, but I think a lot of people choose not to. And I'll admit, even if you want to be better, as long as there are those who refuse to change, sometimes it gives you no choice. So I don't really know. It's really complicated. It's a really difficult thing to put a definitive answer on, I guess. And sorry if I sound like really wishy-washy right now, but I genuinely don't have like a set opinion on some of these things, which might be what the episode is going for, because it seemed like there was a lot of really gray territory there. How, he killed her best friend, was seen like horrifically torturing people, but we know him as a really good person, and he does a lot of really good things in his life as well. He's very smart, cares for the people around him, he's funny. So it's, does someone or something really deserve to be completely vilified 100% when there are so many different layers going into it? I don't know. I guess I should kind of take that back, actually. There are a few things in the world that are just fucking evil and should be abolished from human thought. Racism, rape, and I'm sure there's plenty more things that I'm just not really thinking about right now. And in an ideal world, war and violence, I think, needs to go as well. But again, unless everyone agrees with that, it doesn't seem like that's really possible. That being said, America doesn't need to be sticking its nose in everyone else's business all the fucking time. I understand wanting to protect our allies or fighting against genuine injustice. It just seems to me like there's a lot of wars where America is like, all right, we're going in here and we're going to save the day because we're big bad America, when in reality we have our own very, very ulterior motives for going in there. But like I said before, I'm no expert when it comes to the military or war, so I don't want to get too into it and just be talking out my ass the whole time. One scene that I also thought was really interesting that they brought up was when Atticus's friend was saying, like, back home they call me racist slurs, here they call me racist slurs. Like, I'm a foreigner to both of them, so I don't really fit anywhere. And it seems like that's a very true statement for pretty much every minority that lives in America. To a lot of Americans, they're not American, they should go back to whatever country they came from. But in other countries, they're like, you didn't come from here, you're American, so get the fuck out. Like, there is no winning in that situation. And I thought it was also very interesting that they brought up Judy Garland so many times in this, because she definitely was a woman in Hollywood who was extremely abused by producers, the media, and so many other people in positions of power, which it seems like Jinha was also the same way. She was abused by her father when she was younger, because again, he was in a position of power, and her mother let it happen because being married to him was good for their family in terms of society. And even though she said she can't really feel anything, it seems to me like that was definitely not true. Like, she definitely fell in love with Atticus, and it seems like what happened to her as a little girl did weigh on her. Maybe not in the way you would expect it to, but it's not like it didn't do anything. Like, it clearly affected her personally every day, and physically as well, because if it were not for that, she wouldn't have been turned into the Kumiho. But anywho, on to the technicals. Cinematography in this episode was very good. It wasn't even so much the camera work that I liked in this episode, as much as it was the actual visuals. Like, seeing a different setting entirely was really, really cool. Especially there at the end, like with all the snow and the, I believe, cherry blossom trees, and just the actual aesthetics of it all. They were just so pretty and interesting to look at. Acting wise, I mean, I really got to give it to Jonathan Majors in this episode. I really like seeing the complicated side of everything. Like, he played the tortured soul, but also hopeful person and person falling in love very, very well. Also definitely got to give it up for Jamie Chung, because she killed this episode. Like, this was definitely her episode, and seeing her be both emotionally distant and vulnerable all at the same time, like seeing her transition from emotionless to vulnerable throughout the episode, and the moments when she was both at the same time, I think were fantastically played. And like I said, that scene between her and Atticus when she's saying, you know, people call us monsters for what we've done, but we're not. Like, we can make a choice here. Like, the anger, confusion, and acceptance from both of them, it was just really well done. And as well as the writing for that scene. Editing and pacing was very good. I feel like there was a lot of information that they needed to get us up to speed with in this episode, and they did it very well without anything feeling super rushed or out of place. Music in this episode was pretty good. I just don't remember anything being extremely standout. For the most part, it was all just very situational, fits the tone of the scene and what the characters are feeling, which isn't bad at all. Like, that's definitely a good thing. It just wasn't like a huge standout episode for me in terms of the music. And story-wise, I'm a little frustrated because they definitely answered the question of what Atticus meant by things ended weirdly. That doesn't completely answer why he asked her, like, how did you know, unless he read about his own death, like, in those pages or something. But for the most part, it just posed so many questions with, what did the shaman mean right there at the end? And what did Jiha actually see there? Like, it looked like he was hooked up to like some kind of machine towards one part of that vision. And I would have to go back and rewatch it, but it looked like he was sleeping with another woman. I couldn't tell if that was Letty or not. Like, I don't know. There were so many quick flashes, and I thought for sure I was looking at the past, but it became clear fairly quickly, like, oh wait, this is not the past, this is the future, so what the fuck am I looking at? So yeah, I thought the last episode posed a lot of questions, but this one hit me with a few really, really big ones. But again, it's not in a bad way. It definitely just gets me really, really excited for the episodes coming up. But I do wonder, are they ever going to get back to Hippolyta? Because they kind of ended her story on a big cliffhanger back in episode 4, and now it's been 2 episodes not seeing her at all. And she was on her way to Devon County, which cannot be good. So I would really like if the next episode is Hippolyta heavy, but I guess we shall see. Overall, I'd give this episode, honestly, I'd give this episode a 9 out of 10. I think so far the last like 3 or 4 episodes have just gotten better and better and better, getting closer to how much I really, really like the premiere. And obviously I've liked all of them, but this one was very, very good. I think the change of the setting and exactly how the story was told, with it being like a flashback episode, I think it was a very welcome change of pace, and I liked it quite a bit. And Gia was such a cool character, honestly. Like, she was very, very interesting, and I hope we get to see more of her later in the season. The way they ended the episode makes me definitely think we will, but maybe not. I could sort of see them letting that go until maybe like a season 2 or something, if they have a season 2. But the way the story is progressing, it seems to me like there's no way they can wrap everything up in a satisfying way in one season. Like, we're probably gonna get a season 2. And that's about it. What did they do to him? What did he do to himself? Is he... Shut the fuck up, you dumbass. Is he like skinning black people and using their skin? Same.